Good evening, everyone. I hope you are doing well and having a fantastic weekend. I've been having a blast here myself. It's been a busy but fun weekend. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We've already got a lot of people here waiting, which is so nice to see. If you do enjoy the stream, be sure to give us a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you're notified anytime I release a new video or go live. We do live streams every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which I think is 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Um, so, yeah. Also, if you want to support the channel, we do have channel memberships where you can sign up for Tier 1, Tier 2, or Tier 3. Um, Help support the channel. You get some nice little perks with it. You'll see some people with the little member logos beside their name, how long they've been members. They get some access to some special icons or emojis. Also, there's a members only gilded and members only content there. So, extra content, extra stuff for your support, and even spell working and discounts on classes at the Working Dragon Mystic online school and early access to classes too. So I think that's got that. Oh, and we do have just a standard gilded for everybody also. Um, if one of the admin is here, maybe they'll drop the link to that. Jade usually does that. I don't know if she's here. She might be busy today. We will see. So there we go. Hope everyone is doing great. Let's see who we already got in here. Angela, great to see you. Immortal, good to see you again. Actually, everyone, this just past Friday, we recorded a roundtable that's going to be coming out in a few weeks on the Bermuda Triangle. Immortal took part in that. It was great to have you, Immortal. Thank you for joining us and taking time out of your day to be there. First time on a recording, to my knowledge, and he did really well. So let's see. Mugs up to Immortal. Because believe me, getting in front of that camera that first time is not easy. Violet, good to see you. Let's see. Nana, welcome. Maria, good to see you. Karma, good to see you as well. I can't wait. All right, can't wait to do it again. Yeah, oh yeah, we'll definitely probably reach out and have you back. Don't worry about that. Vicky, good to see you. So, whew, man, I have been busy. I have been trying to get ready for a camping trip, going through some of my gear, finding out more and more that some of the gear that I would normally take is AWOL, and trying to plan that. And at least jokingly, quasi seriously, the admin team at the Gilded, like Jade, Bernoldis, and some of the others, we've talked about doing an admin camp out maybe next year. So I've also been trying to figure out what kind of gear I need to make sure is available for that. Because, I got to think bigger than just taking me into the woods if we do that. Um, so it's been a lot of fun because I love going through my gear and seeing what I need to transition, what I need to change out, those kinds of things. And I'm also looking forward to it because I am planning to shoot some videos while I'm out there in some way. I'm not sure exactly on what topics. I know a lot of people's asked about the um, when I did the TP style tent that I reviewed. Some people I mentioned another tent, a wall tent, and a lot of people's wanting to hear about that. Um, so that is actually the tent we're planning on taking, and that's probably going to be I'll probably do at least a quick review and once over and walk through that tent for you all. Hey, Heathen, thank you very much, mate. Appreciate it. Mugs up to you. And that reminds me, anyone who we do have super chats, if for whatever reason we get busy, you really want your question answered, super chat will flash it up on the screen, and we make sure to get it as long as it's within the PG 13 terms. Um, Remember, this is a family show, people. Also, anyone who does a super chat of $5 or more is entered into a weekly spell working that I do on Monday for basic health, prosperity, good luck, general well being stuff. Always good to remember that, and always good to have some of that. And we got 21 people, only 6 thumbs up. People, hit that thumbs up. We'd appreciate it. It's a great way to support the channel for free. It lets the algorithm know you to show more people the channel. All right. Do we have any questions coming? in just yet. No. Okay. Can't wait. Oh, speaking of roundtables, actually, this week we got a roundtable that we'll be releasing. Um, and we have guest EA Coetting joining us again for that roundtable. So check that roundtable out coming releasing on Tuesday. Some of you may have saw the little blooper short we released just the other day. What is wrong? Okay, the dragons are screwing with my camera here. Woohoo! Come on back. Um, oh, they're gonna do this to me today, aren't they? I'm looking at you. Focus, stay focused. Come on, back with me. Oh, okay. We're just gonna have to deal with the tech issues. Um, so let's see, Maria, $5 for spell. We're going to get that. It's a heck of a deal. It really is. Um, that's so cool. Yeah, it's something we've been doing for a while. I do think I forget to mention it a lot. A lot of people do messages like, "Hey, you forgot to say this. You forgot to say this." It's like, sorry about that. I like to shamelessly plug, but I'm not good at it. I'm really not. I need to do it more. It would definitely help grow the channel. You know, those kinds of things. Um, See, Karma, I really enjoyed the tent review video as a seasoned camper myself. It was very enjoyable. Thank you. Thank you, Karma. I was actually wondering how that video was going to be received because I know it's a little different, but at the same time, I do believe getting out in the woods and camping and whatnot has a lot of benefits to it. A lot. Not just to get out there and enjoy nature or even do some ritual work if you want, but to get out, unplug from social media, relax, and just be with your thoughts. It's amazing. And you can work on some really great skills that you'd be surprised how helpful they can come in. And as someone who has camped a lot, tents are a pain in the rear because you're always wondering, is this going to be a good tent? And I know when I'm usually looking for a tent, I can never find a review on it or whatnot. So I wanted to make sure that some reviews are up there. And like that particular tent, for one, when I was looking for reviews on it, no one was talking about how much space was inside, whether a cot would fit in it. The questions I had, no one was answering. So hopefully, as I go through some of the gear I use and some of the campouts I do, because I'm going to, my goal, I'm going to attempt to do a campout every month next year. Work, weather, health permitting, that is my goal. I want to go out and get at least an overnight a month. So through all that, I'm going to be sharing some of those experiences with the channel as well. I've even actually been getting out my little GoPro thing here that a viewer got me and tinkering with it and how I'm going to use it. And actually, this little thing here, this is like for, put on your head so we can actually have hat cam, if you will. That way I can have hands free while I'm filming and showing you all what I'm doing. I just got to figure out how to get that angle. But hey, that's what we do here. We learn new skills continually. That's one. Oh, that reminds me. I actually have had a lot of questions about confidence, building oneself up, improvement, self-mastery, discipline. And I mean, it's been a huge pattern. I've been getting like a lot of emails and questions. So I actually went ahead and filmed a video for it. It's going to be coming out in a few weeks. It's essentially 17 daily habits to work on to better yourself and improve discipline and self-mastery. That was a lot of fun, and skill development's on there. So let's see. Scarlett, good to see you. Welcome. What kind of prosperity spells have you done? Is it jar spells or candle? For the I use all kinds of prosperity spells in my personal life. If you're asking about the individual spell working here, I largely just do that either. Depends on the week. A lot of times I will gather the energy in working with different energy currents or perhaps a dragon like Expoon Well, and set it for each of the individual people who is taking place in it and release it. In the case of the tier 2 and tier 3 members, I actually usually run a long-term ongoing spell working that is done monthly for all the people who maintain their membership, and I keep that rolling. So not only is it a spell working a month, but it also compounds. Just depends on that particular week on how I set it up. Jar spells, I'm not a big fan of jar spells. They're bulky, they're clunky, they take up too much room. And honestly and truly, I found I can get better results without using the space. I know a lot of people love them. A lot of people get great results. They're just not my personal cup of tea. So no, it wouldn't really be a jar spell, especially for viewers. I'd have jars stacked everywhere, and I don't need that. um, See, Nano, can art be an offering for the dragon? Absolutely. If you do a sketch or something and you want to, I mean, dragons don't require offerings, first off. They prefer something that's just a gift or a, hey, look, I did this by thinking of you. Dragons aren't big on worship. But that being said, you can definitely use art as a gift or an item of thanks and stuff. They absolutely adore it. They really do. Um, Let's see. Tech glitches and gremlins be gone away. Right. Right. Looks like it's cleared up, thankfully. Thankfully. Uh See, Vicky, it's not a question, but I did do the ritual for Guardian Dragon and it was pretty intense. But I did do it twice to make sure it was success. Now I officially have a Guardian Dragon. Hey, huzzah! Mugs up to you, Vicky. That's awesome to hear. That is awesome to hear. Thank you. We always love to share those successes here. See, the community here is proud of you as I am. See. Yay, video for that. Yeah, actually, it was a topic we discussed in a members only live stream. So if you're already a member, go over to the members only live stream and you'll be able to find me going over it. But I condensed it into just a quick link video that's going to be up in a few weeks also because when there's a pattern of the same question being asked, that's a good video to do. You know what I mean? So for those members, you can pop over, see the live stream, and get an early access to it when someone originally asked that question, and I was rambling on about it. It was a wonderful live stream. I think everyone in that live stream had a lot of fun. But yeah, you can do art, food, anything. Let's see what we got. Maria dragons are so beautiful. Their energy feels so intense and empowering. It is intense and it is empowering. You got that right, Maria. You do. And yeah, they are amazingly beautiful creatures. A lot of people's like they would expect dragons to be terrifying because of their primal presence about them. And in a lot of ways, I see what you mean. But at the same time, there's just something so majestic about them. There really is. They're amazing. I love them. Let's see. Small Bean. How do I recommend balancing dragon magic and transitioning to grad school? Oh, so what I would do, Small, in that case, I have had a lot of students who have been busy with a lot of things. I've had some people doing grad school or working full-time jobs, all this stuff. And generally what they did was they went ahead and let the dragons know that their workload is going to be busy. But they would also try and set aside anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes to go to their astral sanctum and work with their guardian and co-mag at the very least, and perhaps even spend some time talking with the rulers during that same 30 minutes. Some of them made time to do, a lot of them even said they did it in the shower. They'd go ahead and do a dragon's flame ritual while they were in the shower, so that they could work with the energy currents, keep in contact with the dragons. And since you're guardian and co, they're always there. You can talk with them when you're walking to class, between classes, while you're doing your homework. I've even heard stories of the guardian and co helping with homework. Wish I'd had that when I was in school. That'd have been amazing. But any of these things that really don't take a lot of time is a very easy way to stay in touch with the dragons, actually make some progress. And honestly, when you get stressed out with school, when you're really stressed, you're chewing your pencils in half and stuff. the dragons are great at helping you rebalance your energy and refocus, thus also helping you get through the grad school process. The big thing is manage your time. And a lot of people think that in order to do dragon magic, you have to have hours and hours and hours of time a day to do it. You can honestly maintain a good solid dragon magic practice with 10 minutes a day. You really can. And if you think about that, most people spend more than 10 minutes on the toilet or in the shower. So there's plenty of places and times where you could squeeze in a quick meditation or working if you wanted. Um, the same thing, you could easily sit down and do a 10 or 20-minute meditation before bed, which would also help you relax to go to sleep. All these are really easy ways that you could incorporate that into your grad school. And also remember, your guardian and co are there. You don't have to do a big fancy ritual to talk to them and have a conversation with them or get them to help you. If you're stressed out and you're not really sure what to do or whatnot, you can talk. They can talk you through it and give you wisdom on how to balance out the entire situation. So what I call this personally, for me, it's just living with the dragons. It's not a ritual, it's not a process, it's just you're living with them, just like you would with your friends and everything. Um, they're just there, you're there, and you guys are just you're tackling it alongside each other. Does that make sense? Hey, pipe smoking heathen, thank you for the super chat. Often when my life gets super busy, I use the gym mentality. I bring down the work to maintenance level. I might not get stronger as fast as I normally would, but I don't lose progress either. Pipe smoking heathen, hey, mugs up. That is a great point right there. That is one of the things we need to do is we need to keep our eyes on our goals and what we're working toward. We can't give 100% to 5, 6, 10 different goals. You have to evaluate what is important at this time for you. Magic is an important skill. It really is. There's a lot of life skills that are important. In fact, there's life skills that I would even put above magic. Yes, I said it. There are life skills I would rather my daughters learn miles and miles ahead of ever practicing magic. But even above magic, you got to ask yourself in the mundane, in the here, in the now, where we are right now in the moment, what is your goal? Your goal's grad school. That's what your goal is. Okay, tackle it. And if you're doing dragon magic, put your dragon magic to help you tackle that goal. It's And I mean, Pop Smoking Heathen has a point. You can easily turn down the volume, back it up a little bit into just a maintenance level where you're spending time with the Guardian in your co-match. Because honestly, in Dragon Magic, in reality, the most of your time is spent with that Guardian in that co-match. It is true. In long-term Dragon Magic, you build up those friendships with the rulers. But by and large, even like now where I'm at this time, I spend 90% of my time working with my Guardians and my co-magician. Um, so those are the big relationships, and you can easily kick it into just maintenance mode and still make massive magical leaps and bounds forward. All right, let's see. I saw something back here. How do you know if the Fae are not happy with you if you disrespected them? That can be a very hard one, Maria. A lot of people do run into situations where they think this has happened, and it's a tricky one because on one hand they can even self-curse themselves. They can create thought forms, and their own worries can turn against them. But at the same time, if you think for any reason you've upset the Fae or disrespected them, um, just apologize. Just say, I'm sorry. I don't know what I did, but it was not my intent to be disrespectful or anything. Um, and if you don't bribe them, don't say, here, if you leave me alone, you can have this. No, just say, I'm apologize. Forgive me. And as a gift of sincerity, have this cream and honey or this piece of cake. It's not a bribe because you're not bribing them. It's not an if or, you're giving it to them anyway. And that will generally clear up your problem. The Fae have been in my home, have seen to be mad when I keep. Well, another thing is, it's your home. If they're not leaving, they're not Fae because Fae can't stay without your permission. It's part of Fae law. They physically cannot do it. Um, so those would not be Fae if they're not leaving. If you're asking them to leave, no matter how mad or insulted they get, they have to leave. Um, that's just part of Fae law. It's built into their very being. They have to leave. So whether it's a thought form or something else, that's a possibility. But if it's not leaving, it can't be a Fae. What's a good spell to get people to leave you alone during large gatherings that you can't avoid? I get overwhelmed sometimes, and sometimes leaving just isn't an option. Any ideals? First off, Angela, work on your shielding because that's going to control the energy and make sure you're pulling your aura behind the shield. People forget that most of all. They forget to pull their energy in behind the shield because if you have a shield but your energy is on the other side, the shield does no good at all. Secondly, I would actually work to set the shield up to literally hide you, to cloak you, to basically have people overlook you like you're not there. Think basically almost like you're invisible. If you have a basic energy shield that's going to keep the energy in the room bouncing around, and then you also kind of cloak yourself with the shield so that people overlook you rather than being drawn to you, um, it's the easiest way to do it. It really is, and it works fantastically. My wife does this quite a bit. She's not a people person. She will sit amongst an entire crowd of people. They will never see her until she speaks up, and then she scares them. It's hilarious. I love it. Oh crap, we jumped. I have a heavy work schedule. I can completely uh, test attest to what Drake's saying. I do 60-second minute. Yeah, easy peasy. Like I am taxed through the day with a lot of different things. I will squeeze in what time I can. I really will. It's doable. It is. You just got to break yourself from this modern concept that magic is complicated. Magic is this super formal process that requires these fancy, long done spells and rituals. Because it doesn't, especially dragon magic. Dragon magic does not require that. Da, 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 da. Oscar, yeah, I take going to the gym and going doing magic similarly. It is possible to overtrain. Oh, it is very possible to overtrain. In fact, you see that a lot in people new to magic. They will start. Um, I think we talked about this a little in my video when I talked about focus, but you will see them trying to just run down all roads at once, just and they get overwhelmed and they really don't develop any skill because they're so spread out. No one skill is actually developing, and that I did this. I did this horribly. My teacher's like, "Stop, slow down." Okay, for 1 week, focus on one freaking thing and cycle through them. And honestly, my best progress in developing really came once she got me to stop doing that. So yeah, you can easily overtrain. And it's also one of those things like I've told people like if my life gets crazy enough, I will put magic on pause. Like you will not see me doing large rituals and stuff because life takes precedent. Um, it is what it is. Sometimes you got to focus on life. But then the moment I get the free time, I'm straight back to it. But during those times, I'm still speaking with the dragons. I still speak with Odin and Freya. It's not like I have to do a ritual just to speak with them. So they're always with me. Um, and that makes it so much easier when you break away from that thought process that they try to sell you where you must have these long elaborate rituals and you need 30 minutes an hour 2 hours a day, or in some traditions you need to prep for one ritual the whole week. Screw that crap. Who's got time for that? So yeah. Da, 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 da. Let's see how to kick it. Honestly, it's your home. It's your will. It will throw it out. Do a dragon's frame ritual, specifically telling them to get out. Do not cross the threshold again. It is your home. You have that right and that ability. There is true power to a threshold. I've worked with a few of the Egyptian gods. I'm very picky at which Egyptian gods I work with because, by and large, the truth is I don't work with the Egyptian gods as a whole often because they are uber heavy, demanding on you must worship. I don't worship. I don't bend the knee. I will approach you as an equal, and they tend to hate that. And because of that, yeah, we don't get along. So unless I'm working with them and reaching out for a client, I usually don't. Um, just kind of that way. Um, But yeah, as far as what they're like, that's the only face they've ever really shown me outside maybe Thoth. Thoth ain't too big on the worship. He's more on the intellect. So him and I can usually sit and chit chat. Um, let's see. Karma. Drake, I've seen this topic on YouTube and I'm curious about your take on it. Vampire magic and the whole culture about it. Okay, so there's different variants and different forms of how this is used. Unfortunately, by and large, this has turned into an edge lord category, and it's really irritating. And then you also have actually three separate, what people would call vampire subcultures that are completely separated from a lot of the topics of vampire magic, further muddying the waters. Okay. So, with that said, you will have different variants and forms of vampire magic. One, like from the Father Sebastian, he has his Sanguinomicon and his tradition of vampire magic, and is one of the more, well, used to be well known. But then any magic that deals with manipulation of another person's life force for your gain falls into this vampire magic. And it doesn't take any special requirements on part of the magician. But it does have it can have side effects. It can have side effects on you. And by and large, I'm not a fan of it because the side effects I'm not big keen on. And also, I really don't have a lot of respect for someone who takes from another for their power. I really do lose respect for those people. Um, and I also don't like the way that it's treated in a lot of the edge lordy little sectors. That said, there are a few systems, though harder to dig up, that I do enjoy. And I have studied vampire magic in several different areas. In fact, in the roundtable coming up Tuesday, weirdly, me and EA touch on that topic a little bit during the roundtable. Um, but yeah, that's the take on the vampire and the whole culture about it. When we're talking about the vampire culture, you have essentially the Temple of the Vampire, which is a very controversial sect. And they claim to be the only vampires in existence, blah, blah, blah. They're very egotistical, elitist. Don't like them. You have another one that's called the Elder Community. And then perhaps the most popular and most common one that most people would be aware of is what's known as the modern vampire community. Michelle Belanger's wrote a lot of good books about it. Um, it's become something that I don't think it intended because it drifted from dealing with people that had a very specific condition, which if you look at Michelle Belanger's Vampire Codex, it'll discuss the condition into just anyone who wants to throw on some cosplay or just claim the archetype of a vampire, throw in some fake fangs and look, you know, like a cheesy bad horror movie. I don't know how I feel about that part of it. Don't get me wrong, I got nothing wrong with cosplay. I got nothing wrong with that. But what it started as and what it later became created more and more problems. Legal problems. As someone from Kentucky, there was an individual who got involved in it and fed their delusions to the point they drove to Florida and did something heinous. And um, yeah, I have mixed emotions on it. there's a reason I don't really discuss vampire communities too much on this channel. It is really controversial. I have a lot of friends in both the elder and the modern community, and I've been asked about it a lot and whether I would discuss it on the channel. And I've agreed with them that the only way I'm actually going to go into detail on this channel is if I can do so in a positive way. But considering that the number of fucking pagans that have been violently attacking people in these communities for no reason than they exist or for a condition they can't help, I don't draw attention to it because that's disgusting, people. If you're one of those people, fuck you. I don't like that. I'm not going to support attacking someone for something they have no control over. That'd be like you attacking me because I have epilepsy. Sorry about that. It's a salty area for me because someone I care about very dearly died because of those attacks by pagans. Let's see. Maria, $5. Hey, thanks for the super chat, Maria. Yes, you absolutely can. You absolutely can, sure. Let's see. My guardian dragon sounds like a guy my age and has a distinct voice unique to him. I can understand that. Let's see. What is this? Let's go. Hey, Drake, if you have a neighbor that becomes an enemy and he already wronged you, they insult you, and they tell lies, they threaten you with death and mock passing in front of your house, what can do? There's a bone spell on this channel. Check it out. Write the name of the neighbor on the bone and destroy the bone. You'll see it. It's a great way to banish them. I've used it. The people ended up moving inside a month. But at the same time, most morons like that, I ignore them. And honestly, if you threaten me, you better use more than words, because sticks and stones, buddy, words ain't going to bother me. And if you're telling lies about me, the only people I care if they believe them or not won't believe them. So, that's one of the reasons I carry myself the way I do. And yeah, I've pissed neighbors off before, and neighbors have come over and, they've shot their mouths off, and I laughed at them. In fact, last place I live, I remember someone coming over and shooting their mouth off, and I laughed at them. And at another place I lived, I remember literally looking out the window and telling them to shut up and be quiet. It's late, and I'm doing rituals up here and summoning demons. I did it for shock factor, but it shut them up. And once they saw me out on the sidewalk, and they quickly decided they didn't want to have that conversation. But if it ever gets to the point, I do use magic, but the bone spell is usually my first go-to. So just type in bone spell. You should be able to find that one. It is a bit to explain, super complicated. You just need a wand. Let's see, good stuff. Okay, let's see. No. How do dragons work with me in Dragon Alchemy? Okay, so we go into detail in Dragon Alchemy and Dragon Magic 101. I don't know if you're signed up for Dragon Magic, or not 101, 102. So I don't know if you're in Dragon Magic 101 or 102. But the process is through energetic shift and transmutation in oneself and your focus. They aid you in your conscious shifts. You have to be doing the work. There is a whole process that goes between what dragons you're working with, why you're working with them, and those kinds of specific things. But it is a larger process that I've been trying to figure out if I can do a small video to explain it on YouTube. So far, I've not been able to get it down. But I know in 102 we completely cover it. In fact, one of the core concepts of Dragon Magic 102 is going into Dragon Alchemy. But the premise of it is the transmutation of energy and self to manifest the change directly in you so that you can be the person you want to be at that time. And that in turn also leads outward for you to manifest in the world the things you want. Let's see. You might need to describe that in the gilded pipe smoking, because that is a long ritual to explain. Let's see. That's really interesting. Okay, that's for Oscar. Let's see. um, hey, Oscar. Mugs up to you for helping so many people. That is great. I need more coffee, people. Also, if you want to support the channel and you haven't, consider getting yourself a Working Dragon Mystic mug. Holds coffee, tea, water, orange juice, whatever you want to put in it. Somebody even put a plant in it. I don't know why you do that, but oh well. Let's see here. Now, where I can hear them almost like they're talking. Yeah, it takes time, Oscar. Oscar has been working at developing his senses and everything, and it takes time. It takes effort, but as you go on, it will develop to the point where you can hear them just like they're talking. It sounds like they're literally in the room with you. And there's a pro and con to that development, because it's also harder to shut them up. Let's see. Angela, sticks and stones are good for spells and words. Return to sender. Others say tell much more about them. Oh yeah, well, others say tells a lot about them. Like when I was growing up, we had this whole sticks and stones might break my bones, but words would never hurt me. That's why, seriously, my generation grew up. You could say whatever you want. We didn't give a flying fart. However, like, I'm watching 30-year-olds, 25-year-olds who are just told no at a job interview start crying and bawling because they've never been told no, and they're just crushed. And I'm sorry, people, you're too sensitive these days. Oh, thank you, Jade. That's a great idea. I'll put the merchandise link in there because I've been talking about it and no one knows where to get them. Jade's smart. Yeah, Jade's smarter than me. Thank you, Jade. See, wasabi. I've suffered from the whole doing everything at once in Magic. I'm now focusing on meditation and grounding. I still tend to forget to do shielding. Yep, shielding is one that is overlooked by most people. It was hard for me to get into the habit, but I am now at a good place where I don't think I've gone years without shielding daily. Because it just helps. I cannot even go into talking about, once you get shielding down properly, the shield's up, your aura's in it, how much control and mastery this gives of you, yourself, and your energy, and allows you to just better yourself throughout your day. So much of the daily crap just immediately vanishes because of that one skill you learned. That may actually potentially be the one skill that I would say is the game changer, and I wished I'd learned it first. I know meditation is a foundational skill and it helps with shielding, so yes, true. But when we actually talk about it, I think shielding is super, super powerful there. I'm still creating an astral sanctum. It's basically a mountain. Oh, now that sounds nice. A mountainside house in a blizzard. Ooh, that's some nice stuff right there. I love me some mountains with some snow on them. I really do. I keep telling the wife I'd like me a cabin up in a mountain, and she's like, "We can do it. I just need internet and electricity so I can have my computer." So somehow I got to find me a cabin in the middle of nowhere with internet, and my wife will let me do it. The internet's the problem. Hopefully, old Elon Musk gets all them satellites up there and gets internet no matter where I freaking go, and I can be in the middle of nowhere with nobody for days and days and have me a cabin and have internet for the wife. That would be great. Which actually, I kind of need internet now too, don't I, people? Because I do that whole YouTube thing. Y'all know, I don't know if you know that or not. I'm on YouTube. I kind of need internet too. Huh. Yeah, internet's kind of an important one here. Let's see. I'm kind of worried about the day I start physically hearing them. I'm going to be scared I become schizophrenic or something. Vicky, believe me, I get the point. It can feel like it. It really can sometimes. I am glad that I played poker when I was younger and I developed a good poker face, because seriously, I'll be sitting there and my guardians just love to say random crap in my ear to try and get me to react in the middle of the freaking grocery store. And they also like to do things and see things because I keep my sight open all the time. So I'm always able to see them. And then they do something random and it's like, why are you freaking doing this? Please don't do this. And I got to maintain that total composure here. Even when I'm doing these live streams, they're usually on the other side of the camera, just trying to get me to crack. And it, yeah, I get it. I get it. But I like to think it's a good exercise in self-mastery and composing myself when chaos, shenanigans, and Looney Tunes is happening around me. See, almost there, got the shit eat. Angela, we'd miss you if you moved into the middle of nowhere with no Wi-Fi. I know, right? I keep forgetting my job requires internet. I love the outdoors and stuff. Like, so one of the things I've been wanting to try to do is literally like take a full social media unplug for a month. Like no streaming, no phone, nothing. And I was thinking about it, and it's like it'd be easy for me to do. And I'm going through all the things I could easily do. And my one of my friends looks at me and says, "How are you going to run your channel?" And I was like, "Well, I can." Oh crap! So if I was to attempt such a experiment, I would actually have to like plan up a good stock of videos, and I'd have to either get someone to do the live streams for me, or I'd just have to cancel live streams for that month. Leave Squirrel in charge for no. Squirrel ain't got the time right now anyway. But oh Lord, I could imagine what would happen if we had 4 weeks of Squirrel running live streams. Woo! Lord help us. But that said, I do like to detox from social media. It's actually pretty handy. But I think I can get away with a week. But like I'm doing me and the wife's going out in the woods 3 days camping. That's going to give me a good little detox there. Some of my students may have to have their classes early or late because I'm going to be in the woods. But I've already told them, so they're aware. Shouldn't be a surprise. Unless they forgot. If they forgot, it's going to be a surprise. We'll see. Drop the channel name. Glad y'all enjoyed the joke. The world is not ready for the madness of Squirrel and Jade. Oh, dear. Okay, Jade. Now you gave me an idea. I almost really would like to get a one-on-one session with a topic with you and Halloween going over the topic. I don't know if we can do a live stream because we can't get you both on at the same time, but like a round table with you two just doing your craziness, I think that would be so much fun. Everyone, if you think a Squirrel and Jade duo of chaos would be a great video to do a topic on of some kind, these two going back and forth with their ideals, drop us a like emoji of some kind down there. Maria, what are we? There we go. Nope, that's not where we're at. I'm lost. Oh yeah, definitely Squirrel and Jade video. Maybe an admin stream as a backup. That would be possible. We could possibly do some kind of an admin stream or something like that. For those asking, because you guys have been asking, I do want you all to know that myself and the admin team, we have talked about doing a get together, and at least a few of us, I think it's me, Jade, Bourne, and Squirrel, God help us, are actually already talking about when we can all get together, when we can hang out. Jade's made it very clear I'm going to be cooking the whole week, and she's just going to be sitting there with a recipe book writing all my crap down. But we have discussed it, and we all agree that it would be fun to do a group live stream when that event happens. When it's going to happen, we don't know. How we're going to make it happen, we're still trying to figure that out too. But we do think it'd be fun. We do. Let's see. The world is not, but Angela is. Oh, I know, Angela. I know. Squirrel is a hoot. She's been so busy. I miss her. I really do. I've not gotten too much time to spend with her. She's been so busy. I believe she actually went to one of the Comic Con, Gen Con convention thingies over the weekend. So hopefully, she's unwinding, de stressing, decompressing in her own squirrel chaotic way. Some more tarot reading videos have been popping up for me. How do you get vibes if parts of a reading relate to you, or is it accurate at all? I'll be honest with you. Armand, I don't give those videos much credit at all. I honestly kind of view those like the old newspaper horoscopes. You put it out, you get it vague enough, and the person can make it fit if they try. That's kind of how I feel about it. I love tarot readings. It's not my preferred, but of different divination tools, tarot is one of my faves. But I do believe that for a good, solid divination tarot reading, it needs to be focused, it needs to be direct, it needs to be specific. And though those channels are extremely popular, and for those creators, hey, you do you. If you do your thing. I, as a personal person, am not a fan of them, and every time they pop up, I've actually clicked on them quite a bit for a while, and I would be taking the notes. And I made a promise to myself I'd click on the first 100 videos that popped up saying, if you see this tarot reading's for you. And I would take the notes and I would apply it to the day like they were saying. Okay. And when I went back after the end of my day, evaluated the notes, literally only 2 out of the 100 even remotely came close to what my day was like. And so you all know where I'm at with my magic and my results. I require 85% or better for spell work before I even count this as a functional spell. So if out of 100 readings that are supposed to be, if you see this, this is for you, and 98 of them, I'm trying to math here too. Yeah, that'd be 98. Okay. I'm dyslexic, people, so if my math screws up, I'm sorry. But were absolutely pointless, and only 2 came close, but really wasn't functional. It's hard for me to. It'd be hard for me to trust on putting faith in them at all. That's not to say they're not fun. I would view them as fun recreation at best. That's really what I put them, because when I used to get the paper, my mom would have the paper. We had this thing. We'd flip to the horoscope, not to believe in it, but to be like, hey, it says this is it was kind of a comical joke thing that we had fun with. And at the dinner table, me and my mom would also be joking and be like, so did you win the lottery today, like your horoscope said? That's really where I'd put them. And that's a personal opinion. It's not a rule of law or anything. It's just a personal opinion. It's where I'm based at because of how my practice functions. And I did put in the time to do 100 of them and just didn't get any results. So that's results and data speak pretty highly to me personally. Now, if you like it, you have fun with it, and you feel you're getting good results with them, awesome. I ain't gonna knock it. Let's see. It's just saying, can bring leather duster to go in the gun. What is that? Can bring luster. Oh, mustard. Let's see. How does one get to the point of developing arcane senses for them to melt into the natural sense, physical sense. Okay, so karma. Technically, they don't really become physical senses. All that happens is you're starting to use them so much that your brain really doesn't recognize the difference between what your physical eyes are seeing and what your arcane senses is picking up and pulling in and processing. At no point in time is your physical eyes seeing a spiritual being. It's you taking in the energetic energy around you, processing it, and forming the image within your brain or the thought in your brain, which people with aphantasia will know what I mean. If I say think of an apple, you can think of an apple. If I say see an apple, you can't see an apple. So if you have aphantasia, you would be more, the image would be a thought rather than a picture. Um, but the more you do that, the more you use it, it becomes reflexive and second nature. And once it becomes truly second nature daily, um, you can just pass your gaze over something and you're picking up on that information and your brain's processing it. It's a different time frame for different people. Some people never want to get to that point. I know a lot of people, they're absolutely terrified to get to that point. Squirrel, if you see this, we miss you and manifest you glitter and coffee. Oh, Angela, that's sweet. Angela, why don't you tag her with that in the gilded? That is sweet. She could probably use a good up and a good smile. Nano, is there any music correspondence to the elements? So correspondences are based on, they're individual. There's no real true key. This is the universal true correspondence. Correspondence tables are something to give you a general idea of what this author, this presenter, this teacher has found works for them, and they're offering you to try it out. So, can you use music to work with the elements? Yes, you absolutely can, and it's amazing. I highly recommend it. In fact, in the meditation course, I know we have sounds. I don't know if we did music. I know we have a drumming, but I don't know if I did specific music for each. I think I might have. I'm gonna have to go back and look. But the key point here, before I get off on that rabbit trail, is find something that speaks of that element to you. So for fire, like I love the song God of Fire by Man of War for the fire element. I don't know, there's something about it. Another one that I've used for elemental meditations, and this is the nerd in me coming here, people. Power the Horde by level 70 Taran Chieftains from Warcraft. I freaking love that song for elemental meditations. If you've ever heard it, you know why. For water, you gotta, I kind of look for those kind of almost cosmic astral beats or even water. And I love well sounds, like well sounds for water meditations and dolphins or rain. Rain's another great one. I know it's not music, but I love those kinds of sounds for it. And I kind of look for a music that mimics that kind of resonance when I'm looking for something in water. So it's about finding what, like if you hear the song, if you hear the music, what says water to you? That's more important than a correspondence table any day of the week. Any day of the week. What says water to you? What says fire to you? What says earth to you? Think about that when you're going through and listening. And you can really build up a wonderful playlist that way. So, whoa, okay. I personally get instantly put off. If you see this, then it's for you. Feels like baiting. Actually, yeah, it kind of feels like baiting. It really does. It does. It really does. You'll notice I've never put that in my titles. The way I figure is if this topic interests you, you're either going to be searching it, or if it shows up on your viewing main thing on your YouTube, you're going to click it. I'm not good at the whole YouTube clickbait titles and stuff. I don't do fancy memes or not memes on what the frick thumbnails. I just kind of like, here's what I'm talking about. Come on in and hear me if you want to listen. I get emails from people all the time. It's like, well, you could boost your views if you do this, this, and this. And it's like, I could, but that wouldn't be authentic because there's a lot of things I could do that I know would make my channel go viral and explode, but I'd be lying to myself and I wouldn't be authentic, which every one of my viewers comes here because crazy mage be authentic, even if he be crazy. And I'm always going to be true to that. Always. So, let's see. I pick genres or music aesthetics that are like the element in question. That's actually a good way to do it, actually, Oscar. It really is. Trash metal for fire as an example. Hey, there it can work. It can actually work. Okay, Vicky. I'm trying to learn it now too. Doing Drake's course at the moment. Hope I can get as good as the people who do the group readings. Yeah, you'll get there, mate. You will. It takes a little time, takes a little practice and investment, but you will get there. You really will. Honestly, work on, like, if you have a friend that you see daily, try to start doing daily readings for them and yourself. I know a lot of people say don't do tarot readings for yourself. Horse shit. If you are incapable to remove the human element from a tarot reading, why are you tarot reading? The best person to do a reading for is yourself, because that teaches you to get accurate readings that can actually help you and guide you along your road and path that you're wanting to walk and remove the human from it. That's the best way to truly get your data. But then I'm kind of like, my students know I don't really put a lot of wiggle room and stuff. So it's like, let's do it. We go all the way or we don't. But I know you can do it. You can do it. Just put the work in, you'll get there. That's how let's see, Angela, that's how I found you. You just showed up in my suggestions. That's what they're called. Thank you. One day the video was about Terrafana and I clicked and I'm so glad I did. Awesome. Terrafana is amazing. I love that dragon. Wish you the best of luck. I know you'll be amazing at it. Just keep practicing, working yourself. You'll never really stop. No, self-growth development never stops. Keep on going, keep on pushing. And heck, honestly, if you guys are seriously following that course with the goal of developing your skill set enough to be, let's say, a professional tarot reader, by all means do it. We need some good, honest tarot readers out there. We really do. Found you because my friend told me about your channel. Really? That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Maria, you may have to tell me about that story sometime. Since you now made admin over at the Gilded, you may have to pop that in the admin section. Let me know what nutcase sent you over to the channel. Let's see. I knew I was good at tarot when I practiced the exact date of predicted passing, so that was proof enough for me. I know it's personal, but I hope it inspires you. It is possible. Hey, Vicky, we got to be vulnerable and personal. Something y'all see me up here. I tell on myself all the time. It's like, yeah. I actually think the personal side of this channel is one of the things that everyone does actually enjoy. It's one of those things where it's like, you all know I'm not just sitting here trying to toot my own horn, because I have no problem letting you know I screwed up. I messed up. This happened. I'm still developing. The biggest thing, like, you want to actually, like, give me a Twitch. It's like, people will email me and say, Master Drake. Don't do that. Never call me Master. I am a master. Nothing. Not a zero, zilch. Please don't do that. You can call me Mister. You can call me Drake. Please don't call me Master Drake. I hate that word. I'm not a master at anything. I am a mage, a magician who is still trying to work to better himself and his life and his family. And I'm trying to share what I have found in hopes that maybe it'll help you as well. That's it. Oh, crap. Jade's throwing clocks at me. Why is there rain? Why is it raining and storm? Oh, it's storming clocks now. Is that what you're trying to say, Jade? Now it's electrical storming clocks? Don't I get hit by lightning enough? Seriously, come on. Let's see. Okay, we will look at. I got a minute here. Let's see if there's anything else I can knock out of here real quick, just about Jade. Thank you so much, Vicky and Drake. Always appreciate the support. And no problem. We are here to support, uplift, and inspire, and maybe entertain a little bit. Feel free to laugh at the crazy redneck mage. That's when I first thought you were crazy until I realized your videos are actually great content. Oh, she actually thought I was crazy once. Well, I might be crazy, but the content does work. So, yeah. My wife tells me I'm crazy all the time. I realized I was good at hero did that reading someone. Okay, get that. Let's see, Jay laughing at me. Now the clocks evolved into more. Yeah, I know, like they evolved into a freaking lightning clocks or some crap. What the heck? Come on. All right, everybody, we better get off here. Please check out the roundtable coming up with EA co-editing. This one was a lot of fun. Jay joined in on it. We're talking about humanity, evolution, how entities may be helping us to grow, helping us develop, why they may want to help us develop. It was one of those really deep conversations, and it was one that me and EA tripped over. I think it's toward the end of the last one, so he was really glad to get into that. And it's been really great to have EA come during these conversations. It's been a lot of fun to get to know him better. Let's see, Bornoldus also joined us on that one, and this time he was looking at the camera. Thank you for that, Born. It was good to get that eye contact in there. Not that we would make fun of you for not doing it or anything. We did. We pick on him all the time about it. All right, everybody, you have a fantastic week. Keep up the great work you're doing. If you are interested in any of the courses, go check out workingdragonmystic.com. Click the online courses tab. There's also a merch tab there too if you're interested in buying coffee mugs or any of the beach towel style altar cloths, or even some of the tapestries. We also have some t-shirts. Jay just made a mistake and gave me an idea for a new Bob and Ace t-shirt that we're going to try and develop. I know so many of you have fallen head over heels for the ceramic skull and stuffed parrot that has somehow become the mascots of my channel. So keep an eye out. I will let you know when the new Bob and Ace shirt are up. And until next time, y'all, take care. Good night. See you then.